game plays out for them.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see.
It's got to be a magic SF build, yeah?
No, I think he's the carry. It's still butterfly effect playing it, right?
Yeah.
But you're just thinking they're lacking magic to do with Timber, and he's just going to run him over.
Yeah.
Also, Slark, kind of.
Like I don't think the Shadow Fiend's going to have a good time to play versus Slark if you can't right-click him. Like, if Slark gets Ag Shard and is decently farmed, then he's going to have his issue with standing his ground, and that's kind of one thing we brought up. Like, if the SF can't right-click people, then...
Look at how much vision they've got around this mid lane, by the way. 2 observer wards planted down for this, kind of both revealing the same sort of information. They're like, come on, someone step forward. We see you, Quap. I mean, if they're able to force Quap to go into like an early level of Blink, that's going to be huge. They might have gotten a little bit too eager here, though. And, well, they are going to be able to avoid this this kill.
Let's see if they can test it, though. Jumi did get a triple decay. I was thinking maybe some more people would come over for Cactus, but... So that's not going to be the case. So looks like it will be a 3-for-1 in the bounty room department, actually. This is going to be very confusing. We've got TZ on the Snapfire, and then we've got TZY on the Queen of Pain. God damn it. What are they doing to us?
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
And it's going to take a little bit for TZY to be able to get up. No. Say it right. There's 4. There we go. No, that was 5, actually. But
my bad.
Yeah, as you should. Feel bad. What's going on here? It's just sitting inside of the jungle right now, really not knowing where he wants to go with this. Like, he's like, do I go top? Do I go bottom? What do I want to lane up against? But, I mean, this is kind of what you should have been expecting, right? You should know. But maybe it's just the fact that TZY has taken so long to get up towards this top side. But he's not farming at all. What are you doing, Slark?
So they're looking to avoid a matchup. Is Slark wanting to... She's a Quap now. What's going on? What
I don't know.
Do you feel like Slark is wanting to avoid the Queen of Pain and lane into the lifestealer? Did they want the Quap to even lane into the Timber? Maybe that's a little bit better for Radiant?
I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know what is doing. Like, sure, you might not want this lane, but TZY has gotten a full level. TZ has got a full level of this and almost TZY. So I just feel like you gotta cop it, right? The lane isn't gonna go too badly, but I still feel like you've got the edge for the game. So it feels like they've just missed a bit of an opportunity to get some of this experience, and now Quap's gonna have a little bit of a lead. But they'll see that Dark Pact is the thing that's leveled up at level 1, so TZY still hasn't put even a single point in just yet. So I wonder if he's looking to go like early Scream of Pain, start to get a little bit more active in that way.
Okay. And that could be a nice thing as well with the Queen of Pain. If you do kind of go down this dagger route, you are very... Your game plan is all in on winning the lane. And if you don't do so, and especially as an offlaner, then you're not really going to have the levels to start to put points into the Scream and the Blink once it gets to the early game. So maybe it just feels like maxing out Scream is going to help with this little bit of farming, a little bit of nuke potential as well. So we'll see. I like what he's doing so far.
He's also going into an urn, so I'm guessing that that's going to become a... Could it go Spirit Vessel into the Timber Saw? Like, that might be the little bit of extra damage that they need. It's not like he really wants to buy a BKB, not really a early Lotus buyer this game. It's the only utility it's going to provide is basically up against that that Spirit Vessel if Quap goes for it. So we'll see. We'll see if Molasses chooses to go down that route.
You're watching bottom?
A little bit, yeah. Again, the lane is not the lane.
What am I watching? They have like 3 waves on Die, though. What's going on? They need to start right-clicking the creeps on Radiant. This is a bit of an issue. Soon, maybe Die could make it go with all the creeps advantage they have.
Yeah, just, look, overwhelm the Lifestealer. He's only level 2, right? So Timber's going to be able to do a lot here. He's even getting a pull-off to make sure that the wave is... Well, they're trying to get it pulled all the way back, but honestly, I feel like Summer's okay with this, right? He's like, all right, Timber's not really contesting me. Timber's the one making these pulls happen. I'll take it.
Oh, my God.
I don't know what's
This has been
happening.
the lane for the past 2 minutes, though. Like, usually it only happens maybe for, like, one wave where we see the lane dragged out of where the traditional lane used to be, but... All right, very interesting stuff down bottom. Meanwhile, mid lane, Marblu, he's already looking to make his first rotation. They're probably waiting for the spells to be back up on the Primal Beast, and maybe Marblu can even secure the Water Rune and get a kill off the back of that.
I'm really not sure what the hell's going on here. Especially on the bottom side of the map, right? I wonder, like, Jumi, he's just used these... he had a courier deliver him a single clarity. And of course, he's got the 7 sticks.
Slark, he might be able to find first blood. Really nicely done. There will be a return kill, though, from Fish King, but Slark recognized that if the Queen of Pain stepped up a little bit too far forward while she was trying to close the distance onto the stat fire, then he could pounce on that opportunity. And he does just that. So first blood's going to be given over to the carry on Meteor. Bottom lane, Molasses. He's going to have to try and TP out as well. Tombstone was laid down from Jumi, but Molasses only goes to the T1 tower, though, so not all the way back to base.
I mean, I guess the thing on the top side with the Quap is, A, you're playing into a Slark, so you can't really afford to go the Shadow Strike, and, well, even if you did, you're going to be seriously gimping your effectiveness later on, and, well, they're going to look to make another play onto TZY here. Stun into stun. Quite a long TP, though. Will he be able to get away? Doesn't seem like it. So that's a couple of deaths now for this last pick Quap, and they might not even get the Slark in exchange.
Oh, so close. I thought that last battery shot was going to tick him out, but Slark was able to reposition accordingly. So great rotation out of Echoes. Yeah, well-deserved tip from his teammate as well. And I mean, as we see the counterpart, the other mid laner, Butterfly Effect, is back in his jungle looking to catch up. Bottom lane, you have a snowball on forward. Molasses with another round of the Chakram. He might be in some trouble, though. Can look to activate the mango if he needs the mana to try and use that Timber Chain. In fact, he's just going to be able to run himself away.
He was a little low on mana, so obviously you got to save that mango for a rainy day if possible. But the cores are farming fairly well on Radiant, just except for this Queen of Pain, right? I'm still kind of puzzled as to what this last pick Queen of Pain was for, really. Like, I don't know. I guess they just wanted burst magic damage that had a little bit of mobility, I guess, because they know how gank-oriented. TZY might die again, never mind. He's going to be able to get away just in time.
It's actually Slark that's going to die now. Wow, all right. Very interesting rotation out of a Shadow Fiend. Didn't find a power rune. He's just looking to try and connect up. Saw an opportunity. The Quap will still go down, though, TZ. Beautifully done with the combos. Able to catch TZY off guard.
So we do get to slow down the game a little bit. I'm trying to wrap my head around what the hell is going on so far, because this doesn't feel like the standard ebb and flow of Dota that we've been getting for the past, a few months on this patch, right? Like, we've got the Shadow Feed making these early rotations. I guess using it as bait, like, that's the one thing. I'd say that's probably the best move that's happened so far this game, is the Butterfly Effect coming up top, knowing that they're going to go for consistent gags onto this Queen of Pain. And then he's still able to pick up a lot of this farm. At least now he's going to be playing underneath the vision, which TZ just pings out. But already Echo was able to push in that middle lane, get a lot of that farm underneath the tower. But by the time the creeps start to hit into the tower, Butterfly Effect is right here. So he is certainly going to be able to achieve that goal of being the hyper carry for Cactus this game if he continues to play like this.
And we do see the Dragon Lance is queued up as well. So I wasn't sure if it was going to be with the Magic build, but not the case this game with the start that he's had. Top of the net worth. He's looking to continue that. And I guess the combo that we even see out of Cactus was something we saw out of Liquid actually a lot at TI, where you'd have Martu on the Life Sealer and Mickey playing that Shadow Fiend as well. And Martu would go for a little bit more of a non-greedy Life Sealer build. We do see Summer has the Radiance queued up though. So Cactus probably going to look to play this one very slow with the Life Sealer, and this Radiance is going to render him pretty useless for maybe 18 minutes.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised he's not gone the armlet style that I was really thinking. You know, you want to be able to brawl into the Primal Beast when you've got, a few points into that rage, when you've got that armlet, when you're playing against 4 strength heroes. Feels really solid as Jumi doing a good job protecting his rune. I said he was a bit of an undying spammer, and, well, he is, but he's been able to secure that bottom lane fairly well for Lifestealer up until now. I'm also just thinking with Butterfly Effect, like, how much of this Dragonlance is a full-on commitment into physical damage, and how much of it is, well, it's a pretty good Hurricane Pike game. You know, just being able to break out of the leash from the Slark, get away from Timbersaw, get away from Ice Shards, all this sort of stuff.
Might have a fight breakout top lane. Echoes is nearby. We even see both the supports from Cactus looking to try and play with TZY, so we'll see how long Echoes wants to stay mid lane though, and in fact he will actually consider about keeping himself, as Marblue's going to look to try and keep him mid to continue to soak some of the experience. So you get anything out of this though on Meteor, it's a bit of a heavy committal.
It is, but they committed a lot of heroes on Cactus as well to expect that might have been coming. So at least you're going to get a little bit of this experience soaked up by Marblue. Very important that he got into it, right? He's only just hit up onto the level 4 at 9 minutes in, and well, we've been talking about the importance of that BKB piercing disable with the Walrus Punch, so he's got to make sure he has that one up ASAP.
Marblue's been very impressive, even though Meteor had yet to find a serious victory. Was definitely someone who I enjoyed watching through the previous tour, and even through their losses as well. He's looked pretty good as well. So now that he's able to get some experience in gold, we'll more than likely see him get active pretty shortly on the Tuskers, finally top lane. The action will break out. Cog's going to be a bit of an issue here for Echo. So once again, no one's going to go down. Just a lot of posturing from either side.
Spent a lot of time up here doing not that much on Echoes, right? Like, we've talked about the importance of just Clockwork being there. It really deters Shadow Fiend from doing what he wants to do, even just using the Rocket Flare to continuously harass Marblue. Ooh, doesn't quite catch him inside of the cogs there.
Do you like that Dire are playing top though with the Slark instead of with the Timber down bottom? Because they get to shove the Lifesteal out of the lane. I'm quite impressed with what maybe even gets a Cory for Summer. So that was the full hood completed for Molasses, but I really like what Summer is doing. He's dragging the wave away from the tower, because often the tower damage early for the Timber is in fact the creeps instead of himself. So would you like to see Dire try and come bottom to open up the tower with Timber?
I mean, I would, but I would have liked to see them do it a little bit sooner as well, just because now you're running into a potential Requiem. You're running into Clockwork with the... Well, he's got his courier coming out to him now with the tome on it. So you're going to have that tool.
Lane.
Clockwork might die, though, so I wonder if this is going to open them up to be able to make a bit of an attempt down bottom. You can see Echo, Marblue, they're both here. Ready to go for the kill. Just hits up onto the level 6 on Marblue as well with that 11-minute timing. And, well, they've got the Siege Crypt to be able to play around with. They've got Molasses. Summer, he's got to be careful about where he walks into it. He's actually been caught out here.
Bruiser Summer just gets blown up.
A little bit slow on the fingers.
Really nice. A little bit slow. And now Meteor are going to be able to connect that into a T1 tower down bottom as well. So finally they've been able to shut down Summer's Lifestealer.
Trying to trade
they
mid,
can open up. They will. Okay. Wow. I didn't think the tower was that low. Butterfly Effect gets a pretty big one. Activates a haste straight away as well. He's probably going to look to go back to farm towards a triangle, but the Shadow Fiend is continuing to ramp up his net worth.
I mean, they're just putting zero attention onto him is the other thing, right? He has been farming under an Observer Ward that just expired, and they still haven't gone for any sort of attempts. Yes, it's important to be able to take that bottom tower, but I'd be real surprised if Meteor didn't look to make a play towards where that Shadow Fiend is farming in this next little bit. They've even got an Invis Rune to be able to help them out as well. So we'll see if that's what ends up happening. Again, you find it hard running into a Tombstone, though. You find it hard running into a Clockwork with cogs set up, even like unless you can get right on top of Butterfly Effect. He's going to be able to get that Requiem off just to be able to push you back.
They do have a lot to cancel the Requiem before the BKB, though, so see if Butterfly Effect's able to get a decent timing for this next team fight to come out, because Dire, they're definitely ready to take a fight. And we did just see them smoke Echoes along with TZ, looking once again to try and slow down some of the heroes around the top side of the map, but they will not be able to connect with this attempt, so back to farming they go.
You would definitely expect a Primal Beast to have gotten a little bit more involved than he has so far this game, right? Like, level 7 is your huge power spike. and they just haven't really been able to do anything with it. He's got 3 assists. He was able to get a kill on that bottom side, but that was more on the lifestealer, just not popping his rage than anything that that Meteor Gaming did.
Yeah. And now it's at the stage where, like, with Dire not pushing the tempo, Radiant are happy with that.
Yep.
You do have this very hard 3-core lineup, and especially with the lifestealer going into the Radiant. So, I mean, Dire, it means for them that they're probably like, okay, we're right now, let's just get our items and then we can start to get active across the map. But if in doing so, it means if you miss out on that first team fight that you look to get very aggressive with, then this game can get very awkward.
Yeah, I mean, TZY's just bought the Vessel as well, but he doesn't have any charges on the Urn, and I'm still wondering who he's actually going to be making plays with.
Well, mid lane Summer. Again, they're going to be able to get the connection with a hook shot. It's not fast enough. Clockwork's going to go down as a result of this as well with the Mortimer Kisses. So, Meteor, there we go. They're able to get 2 kills. Great use of the ultimates in combination together, and now this tower's going to go down as well.
I mean, they would have heard the onslaught coming through, though, as well, and he still just doesn't pop the rage, so cops a lot of that damage. Once again, falls to the pulverize on the lifestealer, and again, if you're going this really greedy Radiance build, I just don't think you can afford to do that. He's at least bought the Sacred Relic now to be able to assist with his farming, but really doesn't give you any effective HP at all.
TZY, is he in trouble? Blink's going to be up in a couple of seconds. Level 1 Blink is very interesting. I'm surprised he's put more levels in Shadow Strike, considering he went for a 1-1-2 build at level 4. What he was going
I'm not sure who he's targeting, really. It's not going to be the Slark. The Primal Beast has so much HP that he doesn't really care, and he's going to be able to move around with the Onslaught anyway. Timbersaw's got a hood, so yeah, I'm really not certain. As I mentioned as well, he does have that Vessel completed, though. So I guess they're just waiting for Shadow Fiend to get into this BKB before they're looking to do anything. He should reach it at a pretty equivalent time to Summer having the Radiance. So maybe that's the timing that Cactus are looking to play around. Clockwork as well, not really close to anything. Undying, he's going straight BKB. He wants to be able to withstand this Primal Beast and the Timbersaw for the time being. Wouldn't hate seeing a casual cloak either from Jumi.
Well, you just mentioned the Radiant timings, but Dire seems like they've hit theirs there. Slark was able to disassemble the Echo Saber, so he has the Scepter now completed. You're closing in on the BKB for the Primal Beast as well, just needs a little bit of gold. And it's go time. I mean, there's no way Radiant with these 3 heroes are going to be able to kill Molasses, so it looks like maybe the support's acting as a bodyguard just to help Summer be able to get a little bit more farm across the map, but we're just going to see him look to TP down. So, again, Radiant, it seems like they want nothing to do with being the proactive ones at this stage of the game. It's going to be Dire that are making all the plays, as we'll see Slark try and get some of the essence going.
I have to wonder how much of this is, like, again, they're happy to be the greedier lineup, like you said. They've got the Radiance now coming out to Summer. He's going to farm a little bit more effectively. But, like, they got to be better at responding to a lot of this aggression. They either have to anticipate that it's coming and get the supports ready to counter-initiate, or you just got to pop the rage, my guy. So we'll see if Summer is able to do that, as, like you said, they are looking to go.
Oh, he's going to hook in. All right, so Fish King cancels the Pulverize, but
no damage.
Are you really ready to team fight? Butterfly Effect has completed the BKB. He's going to be able to charge up the Requiem, and with the control, it's actually not enough to bring down with the Slark. He'll have an opportunity to try and get that Shadow Dance off and pounce away, so a couple of ultimates in conjunction together is not enough for Cactus to finally get a kill, which has been quite some time. They've only got 2 kills, and we're 17 minutes in, and maybe it's our Meteor that look to turn it back around. They know there's a bit of a window for them with the ultimates on cooldown. Echoes will be able to charge through. Summer will finally pop the Rage, who's going to be okay for the moment. They'll look to get the Blink away, but the Pulverize just before TZY is able to escape. It will not matter though. But Slark saw the brow, but he's jumped into his own death as Butterfly Effect is ready to go with the right click. So finally, Cactus gets some big turnaround kills.
Such a messy game of Dota, man. Like, Slark going into all of this AoE damage that they're able to provide, it's kind of wacky. They used all of their ultimates and didn't kill the Slark on the first go attempt, and they weren't really fighting around some huge objective either, you know, like a tower that's going to provide them a little bit of safety. All they really had to play with was this high ground ward that Jimmy had set up previously, so... Is there even a winner out of the back of that team fight? I really don't feel like there is.
Maybe another fight's going to break out, though, once again with the clockwork. Should be able to set up for Butterfly Effect to get the kill, and, well, it'll be Fishkin, but it doesn't matter. I think regards to the winner, maybe it's just an individual being Butterfly Effect, because he was involved in some of the kills, and he's furthering his position in the net worth. Didn't have to use the BKB as well, which is pretty important for the Shadow Fiend, so he still has that 9-second charge.
Yep, almost level 15. He'll have the Hurricane Pike as well. So... just looking to, again, pick up that farm as quickly as possible. Got to make sure that you're not venturing too far away from your vision, especially against a Slark lineup at night. So he's just looking to take the safest area of the map at this time. Plenty of towers to TP2. You've got the vision, of course, from the multiple jungle wards to be able to play around with. Thing is, though, Slark, he's going to look to play around that as well. Go on a bit of a dewarding mission with that Echo Saber to instantly remove a lot of it. So... the thing is, though, you've almost got the 4-star finish. Hurricane Pike, only 350 gold coming after that, so I feel like they're going to be just fine. You don't really care about a death on Fish King at this point if it means that the big killers are on the other side of the map, because still early enough. It's 30 seconds on the death timer.
It does seem like...
got 2 Spirit Vessel charges, so maybe they can make a little proactive action happen. Who knows? Not really lacking in lockdown, though.
But we definitely feel like it's probably go time shortly here, because you were mentioning maybe that 15 talent's going to co-align with the Radiance, and it seems like that is the case. So what's this next fight going to look like for Cactus? Where do they want to take it?
I mean, to me, it looks like they don't have any power to make that decision. Yeah, he's going down again. More permanent agi. They don't have the power to make that decision, right? Like, maybe they could look to set up with a Shadow Fiend push, but he didn't even go the level 15 talent. He's waiting until level 16 to level it up, just because he feels like, well, everyone else is being run over. We're not ready to group up just yet. We really want to get into at least the Sange on the Lifestealer. So, I don't know. It just feels like this is really wonky Dota. They're just playing on their own. They're playing away from each other. There's no real cohesive strategy coming out. They're playing under a lot of vision as well. At least one will expire in 5 seconds.
Right, Fish King. He'll get the start onto Marblue, but no one else is really nearby to be able to follow up, and Butterfly Effect is now finally going to show up to the party, but... okay, some spells casted between the two, some right clicks, and no one will go down as a result.
All right, sure.
Butterfly Effect, hang on, mid lane, look at this. An aggressive smoke echoes, he's going to jump in. Instant use of the BKB with a fault, but the kisses to take control. It's perfect. Meteor will make sure there's no opportunity for the Shadow Fiend to activate that BKB. So a big kill onto the hero who was in the top of the net worth position, and they've got a great position with the bottom creep wave as well, so they're going to get some great damage onto the tower.
They will indeed. I'm not sure what that was with the Undying. Like, he's got just the 1 point in the Soul Rip, but he had it available that entire time. If it was just one of those instances of you're being slammed around so much that you can't actually click the Soul Rip onto the hero that's being gone on, but you just click the Portrait at the top. But yeah, bottom tower going down. No glyph available. Of course, the siege creep gonna do the majority of the work. Feels very odd, doesn't it? The way that they're playing this. And, I mean, he's got the halberd at least now on Summer, but DZY, he's gone into a 4-star second item. He's bottom of the net worth. You're a quap. You don't have that farming accelerant. They're pinging out this this illusion from the Primal Beast. Maybe just feeling like his behavior was a little bit sussy. Marble has been doing a good job off the back of that really quick blink dagger that he was able to pick up.
And he's setting up as well on the tree line. They're starting to rotate to top on Dire.
Timber can't get there,
the jump. Slark's off the mark with the first bounce, and as a result, TZY is going to be okay. Echoes though into the middle. It's a huge combo out of the Primal Beast. All the health just gets ripped apart. And now they can look to charge down another. Jimmy actually will be able to slither on out and TP. So in the end, I thought they were going to get a third kill. Nonetheless, though, it is once again a skirmish that goes the way of Meteor.
They're still hunting for him, but yeah, he's long gone. I mean, the question of this always is, are you going to be able to get an objective off the back of this? Maybe they're considering going into Roshan shortly, but you do just have the 1 point in the tag team, so maybe they're not feeling uber confident in being able to take it, even with that the Timber Saw. Seems like that's what they're checking on Cactus as well, just scouting out if a Roshan attempt was happening. Close to any other big timings? I mean, Scardy's going to feel real nice for Slark once he picks that one up, both against the Shadow Fiend and Quap, of course, because they're ranged, but even just the spell immunity piercing properties that it has against the lifesteal, it feels real good.
Fish King. I don't know if this really a hero you want to start on to. Master's happy to potentially turn it back around, but really all eyes are going to be on Butterfly Effect and what the Shadow Fiend can do inside the middle of the team fights as they want to try and sort of chase down Marblu. Try to strike, proving to be an issue, but Dire need by to turn it around. Echoes at a huge pulverize, slamming away with the clockwork. He's going to be killed off, but they're giving the bonus health out of the Infest. Molasses.
He didn't pop his
He's the one
hood.
that's actually going to go down as Butterfly Effect just tears him apart. The Shadow Fiend is enabled to right-click inside the fights. We can truly see how much damage he's able to dish out.
Wow, he got so much HP back as well from the Infest coming through from Summer. And look at this. He's even gone the level 10 talent for the Lifestealer, the Infest damage talent, which is something that we really don't see. So you can tell that they're clearly looking to play a lot more reactionary Dota. It was a lot of unexpected damage that they had coming out the other way. Yeah, you still lose the Quap, but I mean, Timber really shouldn't be dying there. And I just mentioned the importance of him just not popping the hood. It's an extra 350 absorption that you're able to have. Maybe you get a Timber chain away. Maybe there's a little bit more of that reactive armor that starts ticking in. I'm going to stick with it. Odd Dota happening right now.
Yeah.
Lots of mistakes that are uncharacteristic for both of these teams.
Kind of... Oh, I'll start from Fish King. But we'll make him work for it. Might be able to get the snowball into the blink away.
Oh.
And he does. All right, Marblu again. Very nicely done. Simultaneously, Butterfly Effect almost getting caught off guard, but the instant use of the Shadow Blade is going to keep him healthy. So this odd Dota, though, looks like it's kind of favoring Breeding. I mean, Cactus still only down 1,000. This is, again, a tri-core lineup, and you're just starting to get a lot of farm on these heroes. One in particular that is struggling is the Queen of Pain, so maybe it's not that true fashion tri-core with how much farm that the Quap has, but Butterfly Effect is really the one that you've got to be cautious of, as TZ will go down as a result to this. So just a singular kill onto the Snap Fire, but there is going to be a wraparound. Instant Hope Out going to mitigate some of the damage from the Slark, so he'll be forced to pounce away.
That is a big undying. With the flesh column and the BKB being popped. I mean, how often do you see a position 5 first item BKB after the boots, you know? Like, it goes to show how effective of an item this is going to be. Oh, bottom? Okay.
All right.
That's the power of the Blink Dagger coming through from the Primal Beast there. I was just about to mention that before the fight broke out, that you do have this instant way to be able to get onto the Lifestealer. You're not going to be able to play around the sound cues of the Onslaught anymore. That plus the blink in from the Tusk. There's plenty of ways that they've got to be able to respond to this this Lifestealer spell immunity.
Yeah. Might be able to get another one as well. Slark will have pounce up in a couple of seconds. They're going to make sure he lines it up. The feast once again onto another member. Just going back with your lifesteal point as well with the control that Echoes can provide. This is going to be almost 3 seconds of full stun lock duration, because you can go for, of course, that pulverize into the shift Q of the Onslaught and then stop that as well afterwards. So,
and you're going to have a Tusk with you. You're going to have a Snapfire with you. They're not lacking in lockdown, that's for sure. And there's nothing to break it right now on Cactus.
Marblu be able to get the start, and once again we see what's able to come out with all the ultimates and components.
Summer, I don't think you want to be here.
We'll get the kill onto one. Jimmy could act as an infest carrier if Summer requires it. We'll actually consider about beating back on a Molasses simultaneously. Butterfly Effect, he's got a haste room. So we can look to try and charge down TZ. They know where the Slark is positioned as well. They've got the ward on the high ground. A very awkward position for Dai to take the fight in now. And still, Roche hasn't gone down as well. It's not as weak as maybe I was expecting, though. About two-thirds of its health pool to play with, but looks like that's enough for Radiant to maybe walk in and claim it.
I mean, they still take it relatively quickly. You've got Molasses slowly walking on in here. There's no Primal. He walked too far away. Good hook shot coming through as well to be able to block him off.
The Aegis. Summer has that second life to work with. Still down to the south. We see Echoes is in some trouble. He can purge off the Spirit Vessel thanks to the uproar. Simultaneously, Summer is going to be able to jump on out, but they're lacking the control, though, for Cactus. They need to continue to make sure they're grouped up so they don't get picked off one by this assassin in the Slark.
I mean, the other thing is that Molasses is just a little bit short on mana. I think that's the big thing that's preventing them from going in. So they're really not all that scared of playing around this Timbersaw. So just another kill going their way. They force a buyback out of it as well. They're able to play around this Roshan. So maybe just looking to place Summer on the front lines a little bit more. Look at this. He's even holding on to a blast rig on the Lifestealer. Basically said, well, Tusk, you're not going to be the one that makes that immediate jump in onto me. And, well, if you are, then we're going to be lacking a little bit of that extra damage.
So it seems like the start of the fights always look the scariest for Cactus when you're going up against that pulverized into Mortimer Kisses. But whenever those two ultimates on cooldown, then it seems like it kind of swings a little bit back into Cactus's favor. Would you agree with that?
I would. I think it's really important that Timbersaw is actually there to be able to connect it. Oh, they got the bash. To connect in onto that initial lockdown, right? Because he still does a ton of damage.
Off the left side, hang on, butterfly effect. He's going to be forced to pop the BKB. This could be a huge Requiem. Slark's able to pounce out at the last second, so it won't be a whole lot of damage onto the carry of Meteor. He's going to be able to duck into the tree line as well, but still, regardless, you're going to be able to force out the Requiem and the BKB for Butterfly Effect for just a kill onto Marblu's Tusk.
Feeling fairly satisfied about that. What are they really looking to go for next? I mean, Timber's got a Shiva's queuing up. I don't think that's going to be any, like, massive game changer. I guess it protects a little bit against an eventual Satanic that Butterfly Effect might be looking to go for, but he is really just not wanting to put himself onto the front lines. He wants to join the fights that he wants.
Lane. TZY echoes once again. It didn't get the... Ooh. No follow-up there with the onslaught.
That I was really looking for, right? But now Molasses is kind of on his own, man. You don't have the Pulverize to be able to play with for 10 seconds.
They want to take the fight, though. Look at the damage from Echoes. Sonic Wave's going to push him away, though. And Dire, they're starting to beeline to bottom. They're very close to the team fight as well. Radiant, they need to make their mind up of whether they're going to take the fight or look to retreat. Jumi is in some trouble. As soon as the BKB expires, they'll be able to bring him down. And up with the Slark, trying to turn over to TZY, but he'll just go to the right. Instead of the Lifesteal, it just runs in solo. Yes, she's got the Aegis, but the Shadowfiend and the Quap, they're not in fighting shape. And as a result, Summer, he's in trouble off the back of the respawn.
No
protected with the Rage, and looks like he will be able to escape. They weren't able to hold him down afterwards.
Okay. Probably shouldn't have happened, but that's all right. The Ice Shards don't work out every single time, but they still do get a couple of valuable kills. They still do take away that bottom tier 2 tower, so I feel like Meteor Gaming are relatively satisfied with how that one turns out, but they could certainly look to get a lot more. The real thing that I'm looking for still is Molasses connecting together with his Tusk and Primal Beast. And honestly, they can afford to group up right now. I really don't want to see them playing back on their side of the map anymore. I think you're going to take this away from the Radiant lineup. They don't have a gem to be able to play around with. They don't have a Slark. They don't have any easy way to de-ward either. They've got a bunch of melee heroes outside of the SF and Quap who don't want to be up front under potential vision. So,
a Butterfly Effect.
Ooh, this would be a big
pick off with the Shivas? I don't think they did.
They didn't.
Oh, inside the river. What is going on? Little skirmish is breaking out across the map. They'll address the Tombstone instantly. Now Echoes, he's still got some remnants of the haste to catch up. They're going to drop the Mortimer Kisses just in case Cactus want to try and follow the line and look to enter that team fight, but it will not be the case.
Butterfly Effect's kind of playing a little bit of rat dota on this top side as well. He's basically saying to the rest of his team, hey, try and bring attention away from this top side, force someone to TP back. Of course, he does have that Blink Dagger, plus the BKB, so he could look to go for a Requiem kill if it is the right sort of hero that moves up here. Also got fighting underneath that Observer Ward still inside the jungle. I'm a little surprised at how de-warded this dire left side of jungle Cliff Ward has remained available. Now it's for Radiant. Previously it was for Dire, despite the fact that Tusk had been attempted on previously. Marblue, he was even hunting a little bit for that Shadow Fiend, but not able to catch him. He's got his own BKB, so feels a lot more confident in just being able to run forward, not be forced back by the Requiem coming through. I have to say, even though I haven't really loved the Quap pick overall, I think TZY's Sonic Waves have really been on point, especially protecting the Shadow Fiend when he has that BKB already used.
Oh, Marblue actually jumps. Not really the start they're hoping for on Meteor. Butterfly Effect should be able to get the kill after the snowball. Oh, he popped BKB as well in a Meteor. Can they take the fight 4-on-5? Echo's going to find the opening for the Pulverize. Slark's on top of him as well. So plenty of damage on the Butterfly Effect. But once again, the Sonic Wave, it's enough to push them away. They're going to look for the turnaround. But Summer doesn't have the damage by himself. They really need the SF to pump in the right clicks. They'll get the attempt now, but Molas says he's okay. And Slark, he's got an opportunity to once again jump into the middle of the team fight. It's further to the north. Echoes, he'll be able to get onto TZY. Does he have the damage just by his lonesome self? Gets rid of the Spirit Vessel.
Oh.
TZY looks like he's going to be okay.
Oh.
Blinks up to the high, going to provide the vision. He's got the Onslaught in a couple of seconds. They might look to go for the Clockwork instead, but the Jetpack into the TP out, he's okay, and it looks like TZY will also escape.
Messy. That's all you have to say, right? It doesn't feel like there's this big center where a lot of these team fights are going to be able to go around.
Oh, not going to matter.
They might have got the Shadow Fiend, though.
Looks like they have. That's a big kill. That is
way
a big
too far
one.
forward when you have no vision to play around with.
Even going refresh on Echoes as well. We've seen how vital those pulverizers have been inside the middle of the team fights. It's that little bit of control.
He's even going to have level 25 soon-ish, right? So this is the period that we were talking about where Shadow Fiend certainly does drop off a lot. He's still top of the net worth, but his effectiveness, once these other power spikes for your opponents come out, are going to feel so much stronger. I mean, this is another BKB used for not that much on the Undying as well. So holding onto that plate mail just means that a few more Essence Shift stacks start to be built up by and, well, he's even going to use that gem to be able to continue to de-ward, take away a lot of this map that they have to play around.
Yeah, it's just continuing to lose their vision. So difficult for Cactus to get a good jump. They lost their... They bought a gem a couple of minutes ago as well. It looks like they've lost it, so that's even going to make it even more difficult for them to maybe have an even advantage here. So, I mean, we'll see. This game is now it's starting to get a little bit out of control. 11,000 net worth lead for Meteor. And it seems like there's just so much weight on the Shadow Fiend's shoulders, and I don't know if he's going to be able to carry the team in this one.
There's only so much you can do, right? Like, Quap already doesn't scale. These items aren't going to enable you to scale. Your ultimates can be perfect, but if you just don't have the damage going back the other way against like 4 heroes that are already really hard to kill, and now they're building into their own BKBs. Now they've got their own aura with the Guardian Greaves to play around with. There's a Glimmer Cape as well on TZ, so be able to avoid a lot of that focus. Good repositioning. They've got 4-stuff already. Actually, they don't have 4-stuff. Maybe that's the one thing that they could look to pick up now on Meteor to be able to really round things out. Just if those BKBs are forced and it's not the perfect fight, just back off. They're low enough duration that it's going to be really effective. Really are just begging to have any sort of vision to be able to fight around.
It's a pretty good tombstone, but you see the call from Meteor. They just want to retreat.
It's not the perfect fight,
to
just
do with
walk
a
away.
team fight. Exactly right. Great call. Just avoid it. Go back to your own vision. Tombstone on cooldown. Jumi pop the BKB. You can go back instantly. In fact, you might not even need to go back in because you've got Roche up in 20 seconds. So you might just look to wait a little bit and
push
try
in
and
the
clean
lanes.
this one as
Force them to make some sort of a defensive movement around protecting your tier 3 towers. And yeah, it's all just going to be about staying inside that Roche pit, just 10 seconds away. It's constantly being rocketed at least. Like, I think Cactus realized that this is their last fight to be able to play around with.
it's going to be a picture-perfect fight for them if they're looking to try and find a way back into this game. Let's see what the call is going to be. They're starting to see their attention over to the pit, and Radiant, they're going to group up as well to get ready for a smoke. Summit did just complete the BKB. He's got a lot of magic immunity inside this team fight.
I think they double smoked as well on Cactus, so they're a little bit rattled. They've got to make sure they can get there fast enough. Good positioning by Marblu as well to be able to break
Scans off the
smoke.
mark. Fish King, that's a great hook shot. Look at the angle. Trapping 3 inside the pit. That's going to enable butterfly effect. But they've only got the kill onto 1. Dire, they can look to turn it back around now. A lot was committed to start the fight. Need to respect butterfly effect though. We've still got the BKB on the Shadow Fiend to work with. It's going to be an in and out dance for the Slark in particular. Looking to try and steal a little bit of essence, then back off and regen up.
They really just want to wait for that tombstone to expire. That's the thing that's stopping the Slark from being able to consistently play around that Shadow Dance. And, well, there we go. It has gone away. They don't have tombstone. They don't have BKBs. They still do have one on the Lifestealer, though, so he's going to feel confident enough to go in.
Summer.
All right.
Oh, no. And now Echoes, he's holding Butterfly Effect into place as well, so their main damage source, he can finally look to activate the B. He's going to try and charge up the Requiem as well, but there's just going to be nothing else that's left in the tank as Meteor, they'll look for the cleanup. A snowball pass through too. Fish King's going to go down as well. And off the back of the successful team fight, Dai can reap the rewards as Roche is all theirs for the taking.
Always kind of felt like the game would reach this point, didn't it? You know, they've just got so many responses for everything that Cactus have to throw at them. And, well, they've even got an Ogre Seal totem to play around with on the Tusk. I've been really impressed by, once again, how Marblu's been playing this one. Always being able to catch out the right targets at the start. He didn't necessarily break the initiation there that time around, but he prevented the rest of the team from coming in onto that initial burst, which is why they were only able to get a single kill at the very beginning.
Little things as well. We just saw as soon as the Requiem's getting charged up, Slark, he didn't mind about eating all the damage. He just popped that Dark Pack, so the fear was reduced instantly, and then got back to getting the right clicks out onto the Shadow Fiend. So Meteor just excelling inside the middle of the team fights.
And Marblu had held his own BKB, so he was able to just pop it right in the SF's face. Took 0 damage from the Requiem, and then was able to stay on top of him, making sure that there was no way for him to be able to escape with any kind of weird TP plays. Slark's actually chosen to go the extra 1 second on the Shadow Dance duration as well. I don't hate it, you know, up against a lot of melee that's going to be needed to be able to take you down. So he doesn't even... he's got the BKB backpacked, but, like, you've got that to be able to play around with, plus the Aegis, plus the magic resistance from the Bloodthorn. And like you mentioned, he's really been on point with that Dark Pact as well in response to the Requiem, so... I like this. Let's say, what do you think the percentage rate is that they take the Essence Shift duration as opposed to the Dark Pact?
Oh, I'm actually not sure. Maybe 70-30?
80-20.
Okay.
I would say that's probably about right. There are the odd games where you're up against all this melee with no way to get into it. It just feels like, all right, you can't kill me, I'll take it.
Maybe even helps.
Primer's nearly level 25. I'd say that's probably the last thing that they're waiting for. He can look to farm this wave under vision on the bottom side. Relative safety. Might look to quickly burst it out and then blink away, but it's actually Shadow Fiend that's the one that's more scared of him.
They're starting to pounce on down to bottom. See if they can catch up Butterfly Effect before he Makes it back to the safety of his high ground. What did he
When
go?
the
Did he go
pulverized
the...
duration? Okay. Maybe just feeling like they are able to kite these fights enough that it's not going to be that big of a deal. And, I mean, if you can just keep someone locked down for all that time, why not? They might even feel like it's worthy going on to the Clockwork first, considering you know he bought back in that previous Roche fight. And again, he's the only one that's going to be able to stop a BKB pulverize. I guess the Lifestealer, right? If he's got the Basher, but
Sure.
I would say the Lifestealer probably is the target to go on to.
And I think the Clockwork is the person to enable the Shadowfin on this higher ground. So if you just kill him, it's a free kill. It's not going to take a lot. 2100 health. He's going to be down for 70 seconds. It's just an easy kill to get that 4v5.
They just use Sonic Wave up top just to be able to get these lanes out a little bit. So I wonder if they've got information about that.
Come on, mid lane. There's the jump in. You're going to be able to kick away Butterfly Effect to the low ground. The Shadowfiend is in a vulnerable position with Consent strung off the back of the BKB, but once it expires, Butterfly Effect needs to be cautious of his positioning as Slarky recognizes. Can continue to charge up. Refresher's going to be activated to get that pounce away. Didn't want to lose the age, as it looks like, but no one goes down, and well, Cactus, they'll continue to hold the high ground.
They will. That was on Echo. You see him there with the voice line. He says sorry. He uses the BKB, jumps in, but isn't able to get the pulverize because finally, Summer just pops his rage in response to an aggressive kill attempt. So because he didn't go the spell immunity talent, because he went the duration, isn't able to get that initiation on, and they don't feel confident enough to go forward. And of course, he doesn't want to use the refresher just to refresh a BKB, so they're forced to back off. They'll only have about 10 or so seconds to make another one of those plays while still having the Aegis as well, so we'll see what Meteor Gaming choose to do, if it's just going to have closed a bit of a window that they had to close the game, or if they're just still going to go for it.
Bottom lane, Marblu. Oh, they don't kick Summer up on the high ground. Still, he needs an Infest target. Is he going to be able to find one, though? Simultaneously, the Dying's going to get blown off from the northern side. That's a great rock throw from Echoes. He's still struggling to find a pulverized target, though, Radiant. They've done a great job to reset back to safety of their high ground, but Echoes, he still wants to look to go in. As the Queen of Pain's vulnerable Butterfly Effect, he'll be able to charge up the ultimate. It's enough to get the one kill. Now Marblu's in trouble as well. A snowball further down to the low ground, but they've got the vision, need a little bit more damage, and it's not enough. Marblu will stay alive, and now Molasses, he's looking to hit back. They will force out the buyback out of TZY, though. Some Meteor paying some respect. They'll look to reset the positioning, but for how long? When do they want to go back in?
They don't have the Aegis to be able to play around with that. That went well for Meteor, but even then, it wasn't perfect, right? Like, you had the Aegis, you had the BKB to be able to play around with on the Slark. You hit, finally, that long duration pulverize, but you had Snapfire outside the base. You had Timbersaw outside the base. You had Slark with Aegis and BKB outside the base. So I'm like, come on, guys. The time is now to be able to move on forward. And, well, that means that you don't get usage out of that refresher either on the Primal. Really felt like the game could have ended just then if they were all on the same page.
Oh, hookshot mid. All right, Snapfire should go down. A lot of damage with the raise thanks to the 25 talent. Now that's probably going to give Butterfly Effect enough gold to have the Arcane Blink plus buyback. Actually needs a little bit more.
No neutral items, unfortunately, for him. Shadow Rays applying the attack damage feels pretty nice, though. Oh, okay. I kind of want to see the Lifestealer get that Ascetics cap. Like, if you're getting gone on, you've already got some status resistance coming through from your Halberd. I feel like Ascetics cap is just going to provide you that way to be able to avoid that initial burst. Especially if the Primal is able to find you with that level 25 talent, increased duration on it.
I think they got a glimpse of Summer. They're really going to go for this attempt. Early BKB from Echoes. They spy up the Shadow Fiend, but again,
the clock hook didn't hit.
His hookshot, their placement wasn't perfect, so the Shadow Fiend, they weren't able to cancel out the pulverize, and now Echoes even wanting to get up to Jumi as well.
No bash.
He's going to be able to make it away. No bash.
Because he doesn't have a basher. The Shadow Fiend at least was able to get the money for buyback off the back of that, but again, remember, it's a Shadow Fiend. He's got 12 souls at the moment. So really not that big damage dealer that we've come to expect. They're just going to push in bot and mid and look to play around this. Again, Pulverize is almost back up. But is back up. Refresh is almost back up.
They're going to be cautious. One person shows Marblu. Is she going to kick him away? There's the instant kill onto the Undying. And there's the buybacks forced, but they're going to get nothing out of it. Fishkin will try. A great cookie is going to be able to protect Marblu. They still want to dive deeper inside.
Where's that Arcane Requiem?
I mean, what is he really going to be able to do? They'll turn their attention back over towards the Slark, but they're just lacking the control and the damage. Slark will stand strong with the activation of the Refresher. He's got a second round of the Shadow Dance. Butterfly Effect, he'll finally get that Arcane Blink into the Requiem, but it just does
not on
damage.
top of anyone.
Yeah, it does nothing. No one was on top, so... Oh.
They're playing with their food a little bit right now on Meteor, and for good reason. I mean, from the draft, I feel like these are the guys that had it available to themselves, and yeah, they're not even going to go for that one last defense. GG being called by Summer on the Lifestealer. This was a draft issue for mine, plain and simple. You know, like I was feeling really confident with Meteor, even...